you guys, I'm Aset, I'm your healing goddess, and I am inside of my client's home, and she's allowing me to raid her refrigerator and her pantry. Now this is a part of the services that I have, but when you apply my assessments to your shopping cart, I get the access to come into your home if you let me. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna give you the top 3 things that I think that should not be in the pantry, just so we can get through it a little quicker. There's a lot of top 3ers in here. So, alrighty. Right? I don't even have to look at the ingredients. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I am going to go with, oh god darn it. Can I do 2 for 1?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so the reason why I chose these items is, one, it's because a lot of people think that just because they go with a different kind of butter or peanut butter or cashew and all that stuff, when you condense your nuts and you turn them into snacks, what happens is you get an overconsumption of the nuts. We're only supposed to have a certain amount of protein in the diet, and the peanuts and cashews and things like that, there's a serving size, and the serving size is very small. So when they condense all of those nuts into a small paste, we go beyond the serving size, and now we're eating more than what we really should. And that goes for the alternative cheese, alternative spreads, and they use a lot of those bases like cashews, almonds, peanuts, all these different things just to give you a different texture, so you can say it's an alternative, such as a cheese or whatever. So this is why I would never recommend any kind of alternative. I would always say keep it fresh as much as possible. And if you do go with something that's condensed and processed, then be sure to grab the amount that you can handle logically versus just freehanding it, because you'll have too much of. And that's what turns protein into a fat. All right, so this right here, the reason why I went with this is because corn is a big enemy to the organs. Corn is very inflammatory and it does not break down. And plus, we're not going to talk about the fact that it's salty, but just because it's a corn, we use corn as a snack, and we also eat it a lot during barbecues and things like that. But truth be told, it's not really a necessary nutrition, because it's a carb that causes a lot of inflammation. And for those who are dealing with liver diseases, if I were you, I would stay away from any kind of processed corn, whole corn, anything, because it will inflame the liver continually. All right. I'm going to zoom in on these, but as a whole, together, all of this stuff is dehydrated. So you don't want to have dehydrated foods, because if you eat something dehydrated, it's going to go into you looking for the water and try to return to its original state. It doesn't matter if it's wheat, doesn't matter if it's a grape, raisin, whatever the case is, whatever you consume is going to go back, even if it's the sugar from the sugar cane. So all of this stuff is broken down into a dry, dehydrated format. This is why a lot of people stay dehydrated. In regards to the dehydrated with the sugar on top, you have the sugar, that's one that's causing a lot of inflammation, and a lot of people may not put 2 and 2 together, believing that sugar can cause inflammation, but at the end of the day, it causes inflammation, and it also causes stubborn weight loss issues. So, and other stuff inside of that. But when you have a dehydrated donut, flours, all of the additives, not only that, if you didn't make this yourself, you can just look at all those tiny words and realize that it's really not just those 4 to 5 ingredients. It's much more. So you don't need that if you was to make it yourself. Also, there's a lot of fructose, a lot of sugars that has been melted down and condensed into chocolate, glaze, and so on. So let's just look at the first sugar that they have in here, which is regular sugar. And then after that, they go in and put in more sugar after the first sugar, which is high fructose corn syrup. And then they have, after that is yeast, and then they put another sugar in, which is another corn syrup. And then they have another syrup after that, which is dextrose. And then after that, if I keep reading, it's going to continue to tell me more sugar. Now, why they need all these different kind of sugars in here, I'm not quite sure. But if you wanted to make your own donut, I would be more apt to doing it that way and having more control over the kind of sugar I put on. I can make any kind of sugar. I can make a date syrup sugar, you know, and just use something that can thicken it up. Natural stuff. You can minimize all those ingredients to probably less than 5. That's with the sugar also. So you don't have to put all this crazy labels, all that. It's not necessary. This is the stuff that gets people sick, all the preservatives. A lot of people say I have loose bowel, and at the end of the day, the preservatives cause a lot of loose bowel. Some people say, you know, they don't have a problem going to the bathroom, but yet they still eat bad. And just because you go to the bathroom doesn't mean that you have a healthy digestive tract. It just means that something else is causing things to loosen up too soon, and this can cause a lot of liver issues. It always goes back to the liver first once it passes the stomach area. So we want to be very protective over the liver because that's our liver, if you get what I mean. All right, so that's my quick spew on the pantry. Now we're going to go into the refrigerator. Dun dun dun. All right, this. This. And let me see what's going on this butter. This. Look, I really want to stay in here, you know. Why this? Because it has tons of sugar in it. This, tons of sugar as well. Way more than what we should have. 10 grams of added sugar. Total 17 grams of sugar. We're only supposed to have at least 13 grams. And once you eat your little small bowl, you're gonna get some more sugar later on in the day. So you're wondering why you're probably dealing with blurry vision? Or, all right, so we have Earth Balance. You're probably like, wait a minute, this is vegan, this is non-GMO, this is great buttery taste. Yes, that is okay. But the trick is, even though it says soy-free, there's still a lesser evil, okay? And the lesser evil would be a vegetable canola. So if you're dealing with liver issues, this can cause the liver to be more inflamed, and even if you're not. If you consistently eat this and other stuff like that, it will contribute to liver diseases. So you might want to stay away from any kind of dark oils, and canola oils is one of those dark yellow oils you don't want. Okay, so at the end of the day, we don't want any of this because when it dehydrates, it causes inflammation and it insults our liver. We don't want to mess with our liver so early in the game. And these are some of the things that can help us with liver diseases, amongst other stuff, inflammatory intestines. And we don't want to mess with our intestines because it does regulate everything else. So, hope that was helpful.